A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cut the Chit Chat. I'm Jake Moss.
And I'm Nathan Labonte.
And this is a podcast on the filmography of Nicolas Cage. Every episode we're getting deep in one of the most relatively controversial actors in Hollywood.
We're getting deep in him.
Shit. No, we're getting deep in the waters of him, Nathan. Don't get it twisted. And why are we doing it, Nathan?
We want to answer one question, the question that has confounded experts and...
No, it's confounded no one.
The question is, why is Nicolas Cage?
What's his deal?
Who is he and what does he want from us?
Well, we already know who he is. Maybe this is our limbo.
That's how I kind of see it. This is
our purgatory. We've done a bad thing. The bad thing was having this idea.
Yep. And now we're going to have to, for a state of eternity, exist within this 2 minutes in which we're talking about Nicolas Cage movies.
J.J. Abrams has sequestered us to this island of thematic what? Thematic.
I don't know. J.J. Abrams is all about the mystery box.
And the smoke. Don't forget about the smoke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a whole lot of smoke.
Fog?
Smoke and fog.
I tell you what, there is some fog in Next.
Does J.J. Abrams vape?
You bet he fucking does.
I can just see him on the set of Star Wars Episode 9, just like he's got
smoking a fat one.
Oh, man.
He takes just the biggest fucking rip ever, and he's just like, Chewbacca, I'm going to need you to... Chewbacca, I'm gonna need you to lean in a little bit closer on this wide angle shot that we got going right here.
I can just imagine him and Adam Driver just sharing one, and then Oscar Isaac walks in the back, and he just kind of shakes his head and goes
not
by.
Impressed.
Oscar Isaac is not a vapor. That's my opinion.
You know who is? Nicolas Cage, maybe. I don't know. What's today's movies next, though?
We're talking about Next, 2007. I'll just give a little description about what Next is about, because I'll try, because it's really confusing.
It's confusing, and I just want to say this. I really like this film.
Oh, okay.
When I first saw it, I think it was back in 2013, so I wasn't like it was in theaters or anything like that.
Back when we were all children and innocent.
Yeah. And I really liked Next. And then I didn't see it for a long time, and I moved on to other works of Nicolas Cage. I liked it in that I thought it was ballsy. It was a good 6. I don't know what to say.
It's like in the beginning of The Fellowship of the Ring, where Cate Blanchett says, "Some things that should not were forgotten." And Next is one of those things that should not have been forgotten, because it's kind of like we need it as a memorial for what filmmaking should not be.
It should not be. Yeah.
Yeah. My
emphasis on should not be.
My personal journey with Next is I learned about it about a month ago, and I watched it about a week ago twice, and I will never watch it again.
I've officially grown to hate it.
It's like when you grow up and then you have that favorite pair of pajamas and then you reach a certain point where you've grown beyond it, and you can either keep it in your closet just sitting there, or you throw it in the garbage,
or you keep wearing it and you grow it out, and there's holes that develop in like the crotch and the armpits, and everyone's like, stop, please stop wearing those pajamas, and you're like, no, but they're special to me, they're meaningful. That's not what this movie is.
No,
in this case.
No, we're going to throw this one into the rag bin and forget about it.
Can I tell you what I wrote at the top of my notes?
Please.
Upon watching this film, I realized that Next is no risk, no reward.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
So Nicolas Cage in Next, which is directed by Lee Tamahori, written by Gary Goldman and Jonathan Hinesley. We'll come back to that. Next is about Nicolas Cage having the power to see into the future.
It's actually a documentary, but when he gained those powers back in 2007.
And then he lost the powers again, and then we're back to the normal Nicolas Cage.
We're back. He just had it for the filming of the movie.
Yeah, his method. So Nicolas Cage has the power to see into the future.
Yeah, he's a Las Vegas magician.
It has a lot of good potential.
This is a great concept.
It's a really good. It's based on a short story, which you know a little bit about, Philip K. Dick's story.
Yeah. How about we talk about the short story for a bit? So,
yeah. Okay, before I get too angry, because I'm so angry.
So Philip K. Dick is one of the great sci-fi writers of our time. Not of my time, because he's dead, but of times gone
Way
before.
to out him.
I know. I'm sorry, Philip K. Dick. I apologize. A lot of movies have been made that are based on his short stories. For example, most notably Blade Runner, Total Recall, A Scanner Darkly, one of my favorite Linklater movies.
A Scanner Darkly is an interesting one.
Paycheck comes to mind with Ben Affleck. A whole bunch of other stuff. He wrote dozens of short stories and a bunch of novels and novelettes too. He's a great writer. I love his writing.
Very prolific.
Yes. In this filmography of adaptations, there's Next, which is kind of an outlier because I don't think anyone's heard of it.
Well, I don't think many people have heard his other short stories either. I think it's just a matter that like the movies have become something big.
That's kind of true. Blade Runner, of course, is like the number one, and it's based on the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which...
So that was by Philip K. Dick?
That was by Philip K. Dick.
Okay.
Yeah, very good book. I guess we won't talk about it much here because we're not talking about Blade Runner.
We're not talking about good cinema.
No, we're talking about trash cinema. The short story this is based on is called The Golden Man. And the premise of this short story is it takes place in the relative near future. And it's basically like humans have started developing mutant traits.
Interesting.
That are kind of supernatural. And so it's about the government. They're trying to track down this one mutant whose name is Chris. And he's this kind of golden statuesque individual.
He's a golden boy?
He's a very golden boy. He's very kind of beautiful. He's fast.
So far, you've literally described Nicolas Cage.
Fair enough.
Does Philip K. Dick describe the Golden Man as dorky yet sexy and fun?
He describes him. He says his hair is a bird. Let me read this section from the short story. The man was golden. His skin was all golden, and his hair was a bird. So it's
thank you, Philip K. Dick.
The government has come to capture this individual, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
They've surrounded the entire farmhouse. He's one of the most dangerous individuals that they've encountered yet.
So have they been hunting other mutants as well?
Yes. Okay. Essentially, their MO is to kill them because they don't want these individuals to gain power and overthrow humanity, essentially. Chris gives himself up, which they find kind of peculiar.
Chris is the golden boy?
Chris is the golden boy.
Okay.
So they take him into captivity, and they do experiments and tests. So, for example, they try and shoot him with lasers, but whenever they try and shoot him, he moves really quickly and dodges them. So they're still trying to figure out what his ability is. And we eventually learn. His ability is he can just see into the future. There's a short passage where we actually see from his perspective, and it's described as he can see into the future in kind of an infinite way because he doesn't see how the future will be. He sees the infinite amount of possible futures that do exist.
Multiverse shit.
Kind of like that.
All right.
As he looks further into the future, it gets foggier just because of how many more future branches there are. He ends up escaping from his prison cell and is able to dodge all the guards and everything because he sees the potential futures where he does get shot and killed.
Sure.
And he finds the fiancée of a guy at the center, and he essentially seduces her and impregnates her.
Nice. And hit him with those mutant babies.
Basically, the whole point of the short story at the end, because he escapes from the facility, and the government official opines a bit about how this creature is so
golden.
It's so golden. How this creature, not only is he like a god because he can see into the future, but his ravishing beauty is such that he can basically seduce any woman.
I now understand why at this point I couldn't figure out why they cast Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
And now I understand.
This honestly, I read the short story and I suddenly understood what Nicolas Cage was doing with his performance in this movie.
The choices he was making. I don't think they're bad choices. I feel like there's risk of playing the character too aloof, and I don't think Nicolas Cage does. I don't think he oversteps. Well, mostly. I think there are some scenes that he does, but I don't think he's overstepping that line of playing it too aloof and too godlike, which is really the only credit I can give the film and his performance, because the rest of it is so bland and dry and boring, and even like the contrast between the music cues and the actual performance, it just comes back to no risk, no reward.
I think there are a few sequences in particular where he does play up this godlikeness very well, and then there are others where I have no idea what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
This movie is very scattershot. It was directed by Lee Tamahori.
He's an interesting. He did. I'd argue he's most well known for Die Another Day, but also did Once Were Warriors.
Yes, Die Another Day being one of the more maligned modern day Bond movies.
Yeah. It was adapted by Gary Goldman and Jonathan Hainsleigh.
And the kind of the process of writing it is kind of interesting, because the original draft was a lot closer to the short story, in that it was about a government agency trying to capture this precognitive individual, this mutant.
So are you blaming it on the execs then?
Oh, 100%.
They're looking over. They're at the corner looking over at me, the executive producers, and they're giving me a thumbs up. It was them.
Are they the same ones from Valley Girl?
No, these are different ones. But
we bring new execs.
They're giving us the go ahead.
We get new ones every day.
Yeah. Oh, I did just get. Someone just asked that we would turn up the amount of gold in this film, and also. I'm someone signaling at me that they'd like at least 3 sets of breasts in this episode.
Well, we get 1 set of Nicolas Cage breasts. Yeah.
It's just about the only thing he reveals in this movie.
But I do have a feeling that the executives did take a look at the script and say, how about we make it more bland so that people will want to see it?
I think they tried to make it more human and step away from the whole superhero thing, because 2007 at this point, X-Men is well established.
100%.
And I think they want to avoid that pretty clearly.
Yeah.
But by making it more human, it just loses all potency. Lee Tamahori, his stuff's interesting. Did you see have you seen Once Were Warriors?
I have not.
I saw the trailer for it. It's a pretty unique story about a family living on the reserve. In their bloodline is this kind of essentially lust for battle, as they're a warrior bloodline.
Okay.
And there's like an abusive relationship that happens, and it seems like an interesting story, but even the shots in it just reminded me of the same kind of sterilized aesthetic that a lot of filmmakers had when they switched over to digital and started making these quote unquote Hollywood blockbusters that just ended up being flops because of how two-dimensional they were, regardless of how good the story was. I did like Die Another Day.
Yeah, I caught it on television several years ago, before I had a fully developed brain.
So did you not make an effort then to consume the James Bond media?
Casino Royale, I think, is just a really solid flick.
Mads Mikkelsen is killer in it.
Oh, it's not just like good for a James Bond movie. It's just a really solid action film.
I thought not Quantum of Solace. I didn't like Quantum of Solace. I thought Casino Royale was really good. The torture scene was something else.
That looked very painful. I feel very bad for Daniel Craig, who had to act that.
What, you're saying he did it method? It was real? Never have I been so afraid of a bottomless chair than after that film. Even toilets had a hard time sitting on after that.
I always, whenever I sit down, I just kind of pat the chair down.
Just to make sure there's something underneath your bottom, eh?
And then I look under the chairs to see if Mads Mikkelsen is hiding anywhere. And then if he is, I'm just like, eat me.
That was a weird choice of words, but all right.
Well, hey, he likes the taste of human flesh. What can I say?
Oh, fair enough. Okay, that was a good connection.
What I like about Lee Tamahori, though, whether or not he's a good director, I don't want to bash him or anything. So he grew up in New Zealand, and he started as like an artist and a photographer, and then he was hired as an assistant director on a few movies. And then he got his chance to start directing like actual features. So I kind of admire him because he really worked his way up in the system.
Yeah.
He had kind of an upward trajectory in the 90s.
I did find it interesting, though, that his DOP for the film, David Tattersall, was also from Die Another Day. So I'm assuming that's where they met, and he probably got to know his work a little better. He also did Green Mile and Star Wars 2 and 3.
Interesting. I always love cinematographers because they do such wild stuff all over the board.
Yeah.
Like I think my favorite one is Emmanuel Lubezki doing Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat is, I think it's a terrible film unless you look at it through the lens of like some kind of avant-garde narrative. Like imagine if David Lynch had directed Cat in the Hat.
It would be very, very weird. It would have been like his rabbits.
See, here's the thing. I don't think it would have changed all that much. Visually it would have, but story, like the actual plot, I don't think it would have changed all that much.
I think there would have been a lot more like freaky, like
fair enough.
Like Cat in the Hat wants
skin changing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis.
More murder.
David Fincher would have been good too. Speaking of Davids. Anyways, I don't know why I'm on this tangent. It's dumb.
David Tattersall also did. He was DP for Con Air, which we'll hopefully talk about very soon. A Nicolas Cage blockbuster.
Sure.
And Speed Racer, which
Speed Racer is one of my favorite films.
Genuinely?
Oh yeah. I've seen it 2 or 3 times.
I've not seen it, and I really want to.
Actually?
Yeah.
We gotta watch it after this,
man.
dude.
How about we do a Speed Racer episode?
Okay, so here's the thing. It is so wild. Like it's the visual aesthetic. This to me, knowing now that he was on Speed Racer, I would say that might be my favorite David Tattersall picture. There's so much CG, but the culmination between the CG, which was still, it was still at its rough stages of development. It wasn't really tight. People were still trying to work through the I would say convergence between digital film and the kind of interlaced computer graphics.
Yeah.
And the 3D in that film, it's really killer. It's really seamless. It's got a really killer cast. John Goodman is fantastic.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he was in it.
John Goodman's in it, as well as, what's her face? Christina Ricci's in it too. Her performance is great. It's got a really good romance subplot. Like there's so much good about it, and there's so many genuinely good gags, and it's all kind of summed up in this really family-friendly movie. And I don't generally enjoy PG movies only because I find a lot of times they're watered down action sequences that just don't come across feeling very honest.
Yeah.
And what I want to see is that grungy, honest aesthetic of the real world.
You want to see that executive enforced for
I just got to wink. You're right. And Speed Racer tells a really good story without sacrificing any of the honesty, and I think part of that is just because of the lens of its kind of over the top aesthetic. But I'd compare it to like a PG turned down version of like Moulin Rouge.
Interesting.
How just like stimulating it is.
Anyway, we're kind of skirting the subject.
I think it's funny that we're talking more about David Tattersall than we are about Lee Tamahori. I'm sorry, Lee.
Yeah, so he rose to power. He made a bunch of movies. He made the movie Next,
2007 picture starring Nicolas Cage, Julianne Moore, and Jessica Biel.
It made $70 million, 75 worldwide, 18 North American.
How much did it cost to make?
It cost about 70 to make. So it really didn't do that well. I'm kind of surprised that it grossed 76 million, to be honest.
Yeah. I was expecting more, like 20 or 30.
Although this was the mid sevens, the mid O's,
the mid sevens.
2007. When
2007 was a fucking eternity, man. I'm surprised I got through there alive.
But it was still in this era where Nick Cage was still a name that had I wouldn't say respect, but he was still kind of bankable at that point.
Well, National Treasure.
You're right. 2007 is the same year that Book of Secrets comes out, and that's his highest grossing movie.
Yeah.
So maybe that was kind of a bit of a spillover into Next.
Little fall off. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it did that. It made a little bit of money. Then we decided as a culture to forget that it ever existed, which was a correct choice.
That was the right choice to make.
Okay, so let's talk about the movie. We've talked about Lee. We've talked about everything but the movie.
We haven't talked about Nick yet.
We haven't talked about Nick. That's right. What about Nick?
First of all, he's wearing a somewhat golden jacket.
He is. He's got a lot of swagger in this movie.
He's got a lot of bird on his head. That's the we gotta retire that.
Okay, but to be fair, while watching this movie, I was like, this is quintessential bird hair. In this movie, Nicolas Cage's hair is terrible.
Tamahori likes his bird imagery. What can we say?
I guess he does. One thing I wanted to say about Tamahori. I love that he rose up from New Zealand to become this big commercial director. He walked so that Taika Waititi could run, basically.
And where was Peter Jackson in all of this?
He's Aussie. No, whoa! Wait a second. Aussie?
No, dude, he's from New Zealand. Fucking idiot! Don't even Google that. You don't even deserve to Google that.
You don't know what I'm Googling. I don't know why I said that he's Australian. I deeply apologize. I have Australian heritage in my bloodline, so
yeah, hardly any. If you can't discern the difference between Australian and Kiwi, I don't know if anyone can help you.
This is the part where I commit seppuku for such a sin as this.
Think we should just start over?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cut the Chit Chat. I'm Jake Moss.
And I'm Nathan Labonte.
And this is where we talk about the difference between New Zealand and Australia, and we don't know our facts. We're talking about the movie next. Let's hop into it.
I'm glad that we looked 2 minutes into the future and realized that our first pass at this episode was bad. So now we can start again. We can do another 2-minute search.
We're taking the alternate pathway.
Yes.
We've dodged the bullet, so to speak.
So the very opening of this movie is Nicolas Cage sitting in a bar. And he's drinking a martini, I think. Unless I'm wrong. I'm not the expert on drinks.
All right, listen. You can't say something like that. Just stick with your guns and be confident in yourself,
Fine.
Nathan.
He's drinking.
It's a martini.
He's drinking a martini.
Dry.
And I just have to say those olives are huge.
Those fucking olives are massive.
They're
man.
big olives. I saw his glass and I was just thinking, man, those olives look really good.
Hey, baby, what those olives do? hey, baby, what those olives do?
I want to say that his character goes to this bar every day, and whenever someone asks what he's doing, he's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for someone every day." But he's just really an alcoholic who loves martinis.
I mean, it's like 8:15.
Yeah,
and he's having a martini.
It's really early in the morning. It's way too early.
And this happens multiple times in the film. So the whole idea is he's going to the diner because at some point he saw his future involved with Beale's character.
Yeah, so he can only see 2 minutes into the future. But as he states, this is the only thing he's seen further than 2 minutes into the future.
So it doesn't make any sense. It's so bogus because like at no point have we been introduced to Beale's character yet.
No.
We've only been told he can see 2 and whatever minutes into the future. And yet he's saying, but except for this one time that I saw like however long into the future, and all I know is it was like 8:15 in the morning at this diner, and it involved this girl. But there was no reason that like the rules should have been broken. And the film does this repeatedly throughout, where it just breaks its own rules with like how far he can see into the future and like what that means, and even how it's representative. First they have that kind of motif of like they'll let it play forward. They'll cut back to that kind of catalyst moment where he makes a decision, and then we just see him make another decision. And that's a fine way to do it. I've seen kind of time travel represented that way. But then the movie contradicts itself in another scene where we see him play it out completely differently. And there's some cool effects, but it's exhausting after a while.
Yeah. So in his opening magic act, because he is a magician in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Apparently a successful one, I guess.
Wears a nice frilly white shirt.
He only does like 3 things in life, 4 things. He has his magic show, which he does.
All right, that's 1.
He plays blackjack.
Okay, that's 2.
He plays billiards with Peter Falk.
That's 3.
And he goes to a diner and waits for a lady to show up
that he's never met, which is a really stockishly weird thing to do.
We'll get to that.
There's no appropriate tone to show that.
I'm really bothered by that whole part.
That whole plot.
So he does this magic act where he comes out on stage and I can't get over this. He like flicks his wrists, 2 doves appear, and he says, "World peace."
It doesn't get old. He's like fucking Peter Parker up there.
Here's world peace. Like that is, I honestly, that's
how does it feel to have world peace shoved up your sleeves for a half hour before the show started? While you're drinking the martini, the doves are just getting drunk.
I want to see Michael Caine in the audience just kind of rolling his eyes, being like, "I'll go do that."
But where's the prestige?
So he does that. Then he says like his magic trick is he can predict the future, whatever. So he goes up to this Asian couple and then he's like, "Is this your daughter?" And the guy's like, "No, it's my wife."
And he's like, "Of course, don't worry about it. It's Las Vegas. We get it."
Yeah. So he invites her on stage and he's like, what if I told you that your necklace was going to fall off? And then he goes 3, 2, 1. And then like the clasp on her necklace breaks and it just falls into her glass.
You know how I've said in the past how I really enjoy a film that presents its themes, presents the tone, and like a nice kind of microcosm of the film in the first 50 minutes.
Yes.
I love that. It does exactly that. His show is so pathetic. It's so dry. It's boring. There's never a point at which you're like, "Oh wow, he totally subverts what I was expecting for this like bigger act and bigger show and whatnot." That never happens.
No.
And by the end of the trick, you're like, I guess
he does it. He just does cheap tricks.
And that's exactly what the show is, or that's exactly what the movie is. But it's dumb.
I don't know. This magic act just makes no sense.
So, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think he is a magician, or do you think he's just predicting those events happening? And hold on. Self-fulfilling prophecy. They happen because he stated that it will happen.
Maybe.
Like that he's not actually, he doesn't have his hand in it happening. The necklace is just falling off on its own. And he's like, "Your necklace is going to fall off." And then boop, falls off.
In that case, when he says, "Here's world peace," does that mean there's going to be world peace? Because there isn't. There's a bomb. There's a bomb on the loose.
I mean, in theory, the cleansing of the earth, the start of a nuclear holocaust.
I guess so. I don't understand the villain's motivation.
Nuclear fallout. The start of a nuclear fallout. All that causes a peaceful Earth.
It does, a very, very empty, peaceful Earth.
Just like this film.
So Julianne Moore is in the audience with her, I guess her sidekick, her entourage, and Julianne Moore is a wonderful actress.
I love her.
She's great. She's in one of my favorite movies, Magnolia.
This is going to sound really rude of me, really disrespectful and not progressive, but she plays really well in films where it befits her character to look like she's always crying. And she was not the right casting for this film.
No.
Because she looks like she's about to start crying.
She kind of does.
Even though she's in the power role.
In this movie, though, in Next, I don't think she's acting. I don't think she's actually like doing a performance. I think she was given the script and she memorized the lines, and then she showed up on set and she was like, "I'm just going to read these out here."
It's a job. This is for the money. And can I be honest? I think Jessica Biel is doing the same thing. And I don't really blame them. If you got that script and we're given like, "All right, we're going to pay you, I don't know, what do you think, how much do you think they got? Like 100,000?
For Next?
Yeah.
Probably. Somewhere
around there. If you were promised 100,000 to just go in and, as Anthony Hopkins said once, highlight a line, no acting needed. If you were given a role like that, you do it, you make the money, you get on to do whatever passion projects you want to do next. I kind of get it.
Agreed. Sometimes you gotta take the role. That's why Robert Pattinson is doing the Batman.
That's why Kristen Stewart did
Twilight,
I guess.
She did that.
And Equals.
Yeah, I don't know why she did Equals.
I didn't mind it.
Was that Nicholas Hoult in Equals, or was it Dane DeHaan?
It was Nicholas Hoult,
okay.
And it was produced by Ridley Scott.
Was it actually?
The camera work in it was. I really enjoyed the camera work. There's a lot of lens whacking.
It's got some good like visuals. I cringe to use the word visuals, but it's got some good like
Visual
lighting
tricks.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's kind of
I don't know. I'd love to fall in love with Kristen Stewart. You know, I'd love to renounce emotion and then come back to emotion and fall in love with Kristen Stewart. But hey, we'll see what works out.
Kristen Stewart, one of the great actresses of our time. I'm
Yeah.
happy to pronounce.
Yeah, I got into an argument with a friend of mine the other day. I think I was just angry about Next and got defensive, and he said that Kristen Stewart wasn't a good actor.
Oh, come on.
I got angry.
Okay, let's throw this.
It's been a rough week.
Let's throw this spicy takedown right now. We're both on the same page. Twilight is not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie.
There we go.
Spicy take number 2. People just like hating on teen girls.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. Even my good friend, my good dead friend who died on my birthday, actually, Roger Ebert, he gave Twilight 2.5 stars out of 4.
2.5's not bad.
2.5's not bad.
What did he give Next?
Did not review. The Chicago Tribune is above this. But we are not.
But we're not, apparently.
So Julianne Moore's at the show, and she tells her friend, like, that's the guy. And he's like...
It's not her friend. It's an FBI agent.
Her colleague. Who cares?
Do you think he's a little bit...
No, there's not.
No, there's not a little bit...
No, there's a scene later on.
I think they had to do a little bit of HR paperwork, you know?
There's a scene later on where... After they've she and her partner have interviewed the manager.
The fact that you just said partner almost sounds like you're affirming what I've said.
It's her cop partner. What do you want?
Colleague.
Her colleague.
I'm sorry. I'm pulling us off the tracks.
Drink more coffee.
Yeah.
She and her colleague have interviewed the manager of the casino, and then the scene doesn't have to continue, but it does, where the casino manager asks the colleague, like, is she single? No purpose whatsoever. And this movie has no purpose whatsoever either.
It doesn't. The opening scene, all it's the purpose that it serves is really just to give us a sense of what Nick can do with his powers.
And we get the voiceover. One of the things I want to keep track of is how many of these movies have a Nick Cage voiceover.
That literally just occurred to me because I was thinking this is 2.
This is number 2.
This is number 2 out of 3.
Yeah, Valley Girl
has
none.
Fucking wild. We didn't even do this on purpose.
No.
Do you think it was a subconscious thing?
I think it's just too obvious to not look at.
Fair enough.
It's got a voiceover. He does his thing. He talks about blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't care. But then he goes into the casino and he talks about how he plays it safe. He only does certain things. He doesn't want to like win the jackpot, win huge. Otherwise, it draws attention to yourself.
Yeah. Ironic, still has attention drawn to himself.
Exactly. I perused one of the early drafts of the script, and in it mentions that the guy at the blackjack table pushes a button to kind of notify the hotel or the casino management that something's a bit fishy.
Yeah.
But here we just cut from him playing blackjack to the security cameras and the people there who are looking, and they're like, this guy is kind of funky.
It reminded me, and I just thought of this now. There was a book I read a while ago, and it was the wildest book. And I found it at the bottom of a bookshelf, like this old decrepit. The book was falling apart, and I can't remember the title of it, but it was a dude that goes to India and learns. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Goodness.
What am I talking about?
This is amazing. This is a short story by Roald Dahl.
What do you know what it's called?
I remember looking this up recently.
A fucking great it's not even that short of a short story.
It's the one where he learns to see through things.
Through a yogi.
Yes.
And then he develops that and then starts going to casinos and realizes pretty early on that he can't bet too hard against the house. And so he develops these alternative disguises, and he basically he teaches a handful of other people, and there's like a group of them that they go around to different casinos to basically just win back earnings, and then they give them to people. They're just like fucking Robin Hood.
They basically they give to charities. It's
such a great story, and it's like it's this idea of him having these godlike powers, but there's still a way of like presenting risk, and it's just another like Next. There's never any risk because the whole time Nicolas Cage is just cold and thoughtful and says like, I know exactly what to do. I know how much to place against the house. I never place bets against other people. It's always the house. I'm always winning against the house. It's in 3 seconds I got it. I gotta lean over and tie my shoelace, and then the cop's gonna run past me with her gun. She's gonna miss, and then I'm gonna walk out into the bathroom, get a cowboy hat from another person using the urinal. He's not gonna be able to get it because he's using the urinal. His hands are in his dick, and then I'm gonna drop my jacket in the toilet. I'm gonna flush it down, and I'm gonna walk out. And they're not gonna recognize me, and I'm gonna leave in someone's Dodge.
Oh,
that's the scene.
That's a good monologue. I'm gonna do that.
Better than his monologue.
It is.
The reading of his lines is not even good. He doesn't do voiceovers well.
The short story is called "The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar."
So good.
I'd rather talk about this than next.
I'm so angry.
My grade 5 English teacher, who recently passed away, sadly, great teacher.
Why would you? Why would you say that?
Because he did.
Yeah, but why would you just hit me with that bummer?
It's not a bummer.
It is a bummer. He died.
I went to his funeral. It was a very nice funeral. He was great.
What did he teach?
He taught English in grade 5, but he was a music teacher mostly. He loved music.
But he taught English.
He taught me English in grade 5.
He taught you English.
Me specifically. It was only me.
Did he see this movie? What's his hot take on Next?
Oh, I doubt he ever saw it. He's into good stuff. He read us Animal Farm in grade 5.
Oh, dude, that is so badass.
Which made me then read 1984 in grade 5, which, you know what? Badass. Thank you, Mr. V, for that, honestly.
I wish I had someone to read me War and Peace in grade 7, because that would have I would have started my stint on classic Russian literature way before then.
I need to find an audiobook of War and Peace. It's going to be like
just read it. Just
500
sit down.
hours.
Just sit down and read it.
Ugh, okay.
I read it in like a week.
That's impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was in the middle of nowhere at our cottage. I had to. I had nothing else to do.
And you also had no like toilet paper.
Yeah, all I had was this book about the wonderful life of Henry Sugar by Roald Dahl. I had a DVD, a burned DVD copy of Next, and I had War and Peace. And it was up to me to decide what I was going to spend my time on.
You stopped for a moment, saw the first 2 minutes of Next, and then picked up War and Peace instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a great short story, terrible movie that we're talking about now.
Yeah. Hey, I feel like we're walking down a path that just isn't. We're not talking about the movie, right?
No,
I think we got to backtrack.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cut the Chit Challenge. Come on, this is a podcast about filmographies and Nicolas Cage, and I hate my life. And someone kill me, please. Someone just end my life.
Okay, so Nicolas Cage is in a casino, and they're looking at the security cameras, and then he looks up at the security camera. he just turns.
Which he has no reason to, other than he knows that the pursuit's going to start, I guess.
Okay,
but the FBI agent is sitting in the security room with the security guards from the casino.
Yes,
and they're saying, he's winning a lot. I don't understand. He's not counting cards. I don't know what's going on. They send some guys to the table, but
first they say maybe they say this later, but they use the phrase "you've entered his conscious," which this is where I start to struggle with this premise a little bit.
I'm so angry
because he can see 2 minutes into the future. Correct. He can see the possibilities 2 minutes into the future.
Yeah, multiverse shit.
But he doesn't see. Can he only see when they've entered his conscious?
There has to be. Here's my theory. All right, is it stems from the whole multiverse paradigm. Right.
Okay.
Is there's this idea that when an action is taken, a decision is made, there's a path that's forked.
Yeah.
And those forks just continue exponentially. They grow and they grow and they grow. But he won't be aware of another future until there's the possibility of another future happening from an action being taken and a decision being made. So that's my theory for the movie, because that explains a lot that goes forward. Like the whole quote unquote pursuit doesn't happen until the dude's like, all right, it's time for you to go down there and do your thing and, rough him up a little bit or whatever it is. Go to his table and just be angry, pee on him.
Okay, but whether or not he knows that's going to happen, it is going to happen. That is the future.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like this, because the later, all the way later in the army base when he's walking through the basement and he has to kind of split up his conscious like mitosis.
Yeah.
To see all the possible pathways through an abandoned like. They're at the end. They're right in front of the doors. All he had to do was walk through the doors and find Jessica Biel being held by the bad guy. But I mean, apparently that's too complex. They have to show off this unique like mitosis of his consciousness. But that doesn't he has to make the decision to go to another path in order to split up, because then, there's a fork in the road and he has to make that decision. Now it's, I either go left or I go right. And then he sees that future.
Okay. So, but there is the moment later on where he is in the garage, and then we see his conversation with Julianne Moore play out. And then he's like, oh no, they're like the cops come in a little too early. So he sees that far into the future and knows to run away now.
I should go back and edit what I said. It's not based on other people's decisions. It should be based on his decision. And I'm not saying they stay true to that, but it's not until he gets up and walks away from the table that the pursuit and seeing the way the choices play out in his future kind of comes to fruition.
But he should know that they're going to show up at his table 2 minutes before they show up at his table, if he is indeed seen 2 minutes into the future.
Do you think if we timed the scene that they would show up?
No.
Because here's the problem. He leaves, right?
Yeah, but
they know he's gone.
He leaves.
So it's no longer going to be 2 minutes to his table. It's going to be 2 minutes to wherever else he is.
But I think what the writers and the filmmakers do to try and get around that is, at one point
they box you in.
Well, in the voiceover, he says, the thing about the future is, as soon as you've seen it, it's changed.
That's so stupid.
It honestly,
I'm so angry.
I want you to keep yelling about how angry you are. For
so
the rest
angry,
of the
Nathan. I think they deliberately box him in, because I mean, in reality, with the cameras around and everything, it's not like he's going to be able to be invisible to the cameras, invisible to them. So the pursuit's going to happen whether or not he wants it to happen.
No, it's not the pursuit that bothers me. It's that he doesn't get up sooner, because he sees that the pursuit is going to happen.
Would it make a difference?
Yeah, because then he would have a head start.
Well, but he doesn't know until 2 minutes before that they're going to come to him. And at that point, within that 2 minutes, they're probably already on their way to get after him, right?
Fair enough. But then he should be able to see that as soon as he gets up, they're going to, I don't know.
So he gets up and he moves.
I'm just angry too.
I'm so angry. I feel like if you drew it out, you could map the decisions that are being made. The problem is,
who'd want to waste their time doing
exactly.
that?
I honestly tried. I honestly started to do the math. The brain can process decisions at 0.013 milliseconds.
Okay.
So it takes a brain, like a trained brain, that fast to make a decision. I was trying to map out the mathematics behind how long it would take him to see all the possible futures of that warehouse scene, just to see if it would be possible for him in the span of, like, I'm assuming 15 seconds to have mapped out all those. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
So I explained this premise to my brother.
He's an accountant. He's good with numbers.
Yeah, he is. And he had a few issues with this concept to begin with.
No fucking way.
So his main issue, and this also occurred to me, is kind of what you're talking about. As soon, like, he has to look 2 minutes into all the possible futures. How long does that take him? Because by the time he's looked at all these possible futures, like, 2 minutes is up and they've already there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And that's the problem, is his powers aren't set in stone.
No.
And it's so frustrating because they manifest in so many different ways that after a while you're just like, all right, he can just see the future. You forget that it's 2 minutes in the future. He sees in the future. Let's move on, because I'm so pissed.
Okay. This chase.
So the chase is pretty well shot.
It's okay. Yeah, I kind of like how the camera, like, kind of glides a bit.
It's pretty good pacing.
I kind of liked it, but it's also just super dumb. Yeah. So I find it hard to really get into it.
The cowboy hat was so stupid. Like, why?
And just how over the walkie is. They're like, he's to your left. Then they just kind of, like, slowly, like, turn to the left. Meanwhile, Nicolas Cage.
Wait, which left? Hey, boss.
Meanwhile, like, Nicolas Cage is just over to the right, just, like, picking up a baby and holding it in front of his face or whatever.
And this is exactly what I mean, that, like, regardless of his powers, the movie was written so that Nicolas Cage was never in a place of of risk and peril.
Exactly.
Which is so boring.
It's so dull.
Like the soundtrack is playing this uppity like and the whole time I'm like, yeah, but he's gonna get out.
Meanwhile,
he just walks into the car lot and the bellboy has the car door open and he just walks into it, gets into it, and drives away, and no one's angry.
Yeah.
He just stole someone's car. He's a bad guy.
I guess we should mention right before this entire chase happens, he's leaving through the front door, and then someone comes in with a gun, and we see playing out how
I forgot about that.
How he's like, I'm gonna shoot you, and then he shoots 2 people, and Cage is like, oh, I don't want that to happen, I guess. So he like karate chops the guy's gun out and then picks it up. He picks up the gun.
He should have known not to pick the gun up because now he's an armed.
Like, seriously, did he not see into this future where he picks up the gun and they think that he's the one with the gun?
It's so frustrating. I'm so angry.
Goodness. And besides, they do have the security camera footage of him like karate chopping the guy. So I don't know why Cage is so angry about that, about why he feels the need to run away.
I don't know.
But either way, he just like, he's slowly walking through the casino. He like bends over. He goes to the vending machine as people like walk right past him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so stupid. I hate it. I love it too.
He doesn't play it aloof though. He doesn't play it like he's some god character. He just plays it like he's used to it and it's whatever, which I can appreciate. I like that. And I think there's a lot of subtleties there that can't go ignored.
Yeah, I do think
in his performance.
This performance is weird, but he does downplay it enough for it to be fine.
The tragedies in everyone else's performance.
Yes.
Which happens sometimes where other people take the back seat because it's Nicolas Cage on the forefront and they have to almost yield to him if they're not willing to work with that, like compared to Julie's character in Valley Girl, where we get this amazing chemistry. I'm not asking Julianne Moore to like give us that romance chemistry and like shed a couple of tears over Nicolas Cage's powers, but like it would have been nice to see that harmony there, and it was never that. Are we done with this scene? Are we done with the casino?
Yeah, he goes on a bad car chase. It's really boring. There's no energy.
So dumb. Honestly, the movie's so forgetful.
Yeah.
I've seen it 2.5 times, and there are scenes that I've completely forgotten.
I
just watched it last night. I'm so angry.
I've not forgotten any of this movie. It's ingrained into my brain now.
So he drives to his grandpa's garage.
Is that his grandpa?
No, it's definitely not. It's just some old guy who's his roommate.
It's legendary actor Peter Falk, who I don't know what he's doing in here. Peter Falk is he was a Cassavetes player, so he was in A Woman Under the Influence, most notably. He was in Princess Bride. Mm-hmm. He's in Wings of Desire, which we will talk about sometime down the road. Mm-hmm. He was in The Player, Robert Altman's movie. He was in The Great Muppet Caper. He's great in Mikey and Nikki, which is an Elaine May movie that is on the Criterion Channel, which is really good.
But none of that matters because he's only in this scene for like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and then Julianne Moore comes.
He shows up. He's like, hey Nick, want to play billiards?
Nick's like, no, sorry, man. Julianne Moore's on her way.
I feel a bit uncomfortable making this note, but Cage's torso just made me really uncomfortable for some reason.
Why?
Because I thought he should be more schlubby. I feel like his character should be just like he doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah, his arms are really jacked.
Yes, but his arms are really weird.
The rest of his torso is not very well developed.
It's just
no offense to him. Like I get it. I'm not setting unreal expectations for the male body. All I'm saying is like he's got an awkward shape. I miss his pecs. I miss Valley Girl Nicolas Cage.
Me too. Don't we all?
Where's that triangle of hair? Like I miss all that. What happened? What happened?
So he makes a comment about how someone's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're on their way.
Yes, they're on their way. Julianne Moore shows up. They have a nice little conversation. The police show up too early.
Yeah, too early. There's not enough time to process even what happens.
Yeah, so then this happens so many times. Like when the car gets hit by the train,
mm-hmm.
and then we have that like wraparound shot to him still driving.
Yep.
It happens so many times. I hate it every time.
Yeah,
where we see into the future and then we jump back and he's like, well, I gotta go now.
yeah, because Yeah, man, it contradicts what you've seen, and then you're just like, okay, so that wasn't important.
And then what this movie does that I really dislike is it uses that scene of conversation between him and Julianne Moore
as exposition for future information.
Yeah, and then further on, it's as if that scene has happened the way that Moore's character relates to the Cage.
So Julianne Moore winds up having conversations with him almost like she's been tracking him for years, which she has, or something. She seems a little obsessed with him, but they wind up having these weird, intimate, honest conversations. Meanwhile, they don't know anything about each other. I'm so angry.
Yeah, they haven't actually talked. They've only talked in Nicolas Cage's vision of a potential future.
That's why Beale's romance with him is so sweaty and gross.
Yeah. Oh,
let's get there.
Let's jump right into that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he runs away.
Yep.
We get introduced to the villains. I guess one of them, they're generic European nobodies. I really dislike that. They're just
the actor, I've forgotten his name.
Thomas Kretschmann.
Yeah, he's played a lot, like too many villains.
Yeah, he's in the Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Age of Ultron, as well as The Pianist.
Yep, he's played so many villains. I mean, he's got a great face. I'd like to see him as a protagonist or something. You know, the poor guy.
He gets the manager of the casino, and then he asks the question. Then he says, "Let me rephrase the question." And then he pulls out a knife, which is amazing.
And the manager just waits and says, "All right, when are you going to rephrase your question?"
Yeah. And then we get to the diner. We get to the meat of the diner scene.
The most important. Arguably the most important scene in the film.
Probably. Have you seen About Time?
Yes.
The Domhnall Gleeson.
Yes.
Yeah. This reminded me so much of About Time, and it made me just as uncomfortable as when I was watching About Time.
Now, hear me out. I love Domhnall Gleeson.
Love him. I love him in Star Wars.
Dude. I love him in Ex Machina. I love him in so many films that I can't think of. I also love his dad, but that's another conversation.
Oh, yeah.
I love Rachel McAdams.
Yes.
As a guy who's always been into older women, it made me feel so good when this film comes out where he's literally pursuing a girl 10 years older than him. I was like, all right, I'm invested. And honestly, I love the film.
About Time?
Yeah.
Shame on you. Get out of here.
Mind you, I've only seen it the once and I will never watch it again.
Let me see if I can pull up the little...
But the idea of having to go into a closet, was it naked?
Does he have to be naked? I don't think so.
I can't remember, but I just remember a scene where he goes into a closet naked after. I remember it's the first time they have sex, and he goes into the closet naked. And just to me, it's just such a funny scene. Like this man who's continually having to come out of the closet in order to understand himself and other people better is the wildest idea ever. And I love it.
I wrote a bit on it at the time, but my main issue was that the premise is inherently undramatic. Because he can just go back in time and fix anything.
But the idea is he can't after he has a kid.
But why? I don't get that.
Because it's the butterfly effect. They literally explain it. His dad dying of cancer explains that if any change occurs, that's going to compound into a change big enough to alter your baby's gender. And
who cares?
What the fuck? That's a fucked up thing to say. That's so fucked up. What do you mean, who cares? It's his daughter, and all of a sudden he grows and she's like 4 years old or something, and then he jumps back in time because they didn't have good sex or something, and all of a sudden his daughter doesn't exist anymore. Could you live with yourself and this son who's like a fake?
I apologize. That I didn't think that went through. You know what?
Does that change your opinion of the film now?
Not at all. And don't cut that out. Keep that in. I want the shame to last forever. The diner scene is super uncomfortable because he tries out like 5 to 10 different ways of like pickup lines, basically.
And we see every single one go through and how they all don't work. And I'm going to be honest, I love Jessica Biel in the diner. I love it when he goes up and he plays the hero for her.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend comes in and she's like, wow, you've been stalking me. He's like, I've been through work. I've been to your favorite Starbucks. She's like, what the fuck, dude? Which I very much echoed. And then Nicolas Cage walks up and he's like, listen, dude, she's not the one for you. I'm her future. And he's like, fuck you. Goes to swing. He misses. Cage is doing all this crazy Matrix stuff. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. And then finally pins him. And he's like, you should probably pay for the ladies' meal, and does a magic trick and drops a bunch of quarters. And Beale is like, who the fuck are you? Also, I can pay for my own dinner. You
then
bitch.
She's like, how about you guys go outside and settle this?
Get the fuck out. And I love that because Beale is such a like independent, fierce woman, and that all of that just absolves in the feud. We don't get that ever again.
This scene, I think the scene is kind of amusing,
but it's inherently problematic.
Yes.
Like I don't want to say morality, but the idea of someone wanting someone so bad that they're going to overplay and just like think about every situation where they can perfectly win them over is a problematic
and it's not
concept.
It's not even that he's doing all these things. He's imagining these futures. So if he did the first thing he thought of, then he would have been rejected. It's kind of like he's trying to dig into her brain to find the single best way to seduce her.
It's honestly, it's like emotional manipulation.
I wrote that down.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
And it's a fucked up concept to have the basis of their relationship be spent off of. And even though the diner scene is kind of like the best part of the film, arguably, it's also the worst because you realize like just how messed up and how morally ambiguous Nicolas Cage's character is.
Yeah, so for some reason she gives him a ride because he's quote unquote going in the same direction as her.
Yeah, that was sweaty.
Ugh.
And so they drive through the Grand Canyon?
I honestly don't know. I guess they're in Nevada.
Okay.
So they probably go through the Grand Canyon, which is in Arizona. So they definitely did not go through it.
Maybe, I don't know. There's some kind of canyon. And she takes him to her school.
To a native reserve.
Where she teaches.
Because this is her character development. She teaches a few times.
This is her character development. Are you ready?
Yeah.
She's a good person.
What?
What?
How?
What?
How is that possible?
She reaches out to the community and does things and doesn't expect any kind of reward in return?
How? Yeah, I don't.
What?
I find that to be unbelievable character development. It's just the writing is beyond phenomenal.
But no, it presented this weird kind of like black and white situation where Beale's character is so much better than Cage's.
Yeah.
And so now there is that pressure of like, all right, I have to present the best version of myself in order to win her over because she's so much better than me.
And the movie tries to put in some thematic stuff by having them have a dialogue about the future where she says, "I believe anything's possible," and he goes, "Me too."
And that's it.
They're walking along the not Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of talking about the themes of the movie, which it doesn't really have any, but they're trying.
Talks about the future.
And then she goes down and she's just like sitting by the river with like kids around her.
And they're like, "Oh, is he your boyfriend?"
Yeah, and she's like, "What?"
He's kind of hunky. He's got this goofy sexiness. She's like, "Wow, that's a weird thing for a 12-year-old to say." And then it turns out it was she was played by Martha Coolidge, and Jessica Biel was like, "Okay, it makes sense."
And one of the kids is like, "Well, that's the way that my dad looks like my mom or something." And then she looks over and Nicolas Cage is just standing there and staring at her.
And there's a bird on his head.
And the bird is staring at her too.
I'm so angry.
Why is he just looking at her?
Because that's what he does.
And then he goes over to the kids and he's like, "Oh, something behind your ear," or whatever. He just does some stupid magic trick. And then she's like, "Oh, I love that. I'm in love with this man."
Now, I'm going to throw this out here. If you were a magician, or not even a professional magician, if you knew magic tricks,
yes,
would you not perform them on as many people that you met on a daily basis as you possibly could? Especially
if you're on a very tokeny native reserve.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe if you just wanted to show off to the kids and
this is such basic white person stuff.
Yeah. And I get that, but I'm just saying, like, I kind of understand like always playing tricks on people.
I guess
because if you're just someone that enjoys a prank or two, like that's. If someone's fighting you, why not have change fall out of their face or something?
But is he doing this because he genuinely wants to do it for the kids?
No, he's
doing
trying
it to impress her?
Beale. Yeah, he's doing that to impress Beale.
And
it works.
I guess so.
Which is so two-dimensional of her. Don't fall into that trap. He's a stranger. Stranger danger.
The entirety of their love story is bad. It doesn't work.
It's a magic trick. It's fake.
It's fake.
It's fake.
It's less than a day.
I'm so angry.
I'm very angry.
So they leave and they're driving through a very rainy road.
They have this conversation where his name, like the fact that his name is Frank Cadillac comes up, and she asks him why his stage name is Frank Cadillac, and he's like, well, I thought of my two favorite things, Frankenstein and Cadillacs.
No relation to either. No relation to each other.
Which I guess so.
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
I guess.
It's a great book.
It's my favorite line. Shoulder shrug. I guess.
That's the entirety of our podcast.
So they leave.
They do.
Finally.
So they're in the car with the rain, and her head is on his shoulder, which
he's driving now. Which is that a thing that they do in America a lot? Because I see this all the time, where like someone who it's not their car, I guess the other person wants to sleep, so they just take over and they drive. Like,
I guess
there's never points like, hey, do you mind driving? I need to sleep. Also, your shoulder looks nice.
Shrugs.
Pretty convenient that they have a front bench in that SUV.
Oh yeah,
driving.
for sure. Can I just share a quick anecdote that you can choose to cut or not cut?
Yeah.
So I went to leadership camp in high school.
Wait. Does this story end in you losing your virginity? Wait, just a quick preview. What base did you reach?
This is probably first base.
Okay, go ahead.
So on the way home, everyone was tired. A guy from my grade who was another camp leader was sitting next to me, and I guess he got a bit dozy.
Okay.
So as the bus, was humming along, I looked over. His head was like really slowly
descending,
just like descending toward my shoulder. And
so did you swerve?
No, I was just like, oh man, what do I do?
That's gross.
I just kind of stayed where I was, and then his head landed on my shoulder. I just kind of stayed there for a few minutes. He woke up. He was like, oh, sorry, dude. It happened like 2 more times on the bus ride home.
Why didn't you just move? Why didn't you just give him the window seat?
Because I want the window seat. I'm selfish. What can I say? Anyway, do with that what you want. That's something that happened to me.
So they're driving. She's asleep on his shoulder, which is a nice little way of saying already they're more comfortable with each other than you'd like.
Yeah, even though when she wakes up, she does the awkward like, oops thing.
It's gross. And then we cut to the lodge.
No, first they have a conversation about rain.
It's not important.
It's very important because
it shows off to the nuances of Nicolas Cage.
Because she says, I like rain, and he says, I like rain too. And then he tells her a story about how fish eggs got carried up into the clouds.
Yep.
Then they hatched in there, so it rained fish.
Yeah.
Which apparently was an improv on set. And in an interview, Jessica Biel talks about how amazing that improv was.
When you were reading up on that, did it say whether or not that story was true? Because how long would that eggs have to be incubating in the sky in order for that to be true?
Does it have to be true to be?
It would also
a good
have
story?
to be. It would also have to be warm enough for the eggs to have been incubated. No,
I really don't
fish eggs.
know.
I don't think they have to incubate, but to just be floating up there and then to hatch, and then they're not going to grow into like full size fish unless they're floating around in the stratosphere for like a week.
That's how McDonald's is making their new Filet-O-Fish. To get
the
that
Filet-O
extra
fish isn't new. It's the fish and chips that is.
They want that
idiot.
salty flavor.
You idiot.
Okay, so they stop at the lodge. Let's just keep going.
They go through some rain because every American sexual fantasy is rooted in both people being wet.
Very wet.
Very wet.
You have to be wet.
Too wet.
A little.
Honestly, like I've run through rain before and not gotten as wet as both of them got.
That's true. They aren't even outside for that long.
No, they just run through it and they're soaked.
Just immediately, they're just drenched.
So they go in the lodge, and then he's like,
well, first they get turned around. I'm sorry, we have to mention this. This is so important. They get turned around.
Angry.
They get to the guys. The they're doing construction work in the middle of the rain.
Oh yes. They
get turned around, and it's like you can stay at, and then he just says the name.
The lodge.
The lodge. I don't remember.
The guy's
what it's called.
like, I guess. and then when Julianne Moore drives up to look for him, she asks, where did he go? And he's like, well, funny thing.
Yeah.
He knew where he was headed before I even said.
Which
almost like he could have been from around here, I guess. Never had that happen before.
It's not the weirdest thing to know the name of a hotel.
It's really not.
So they get to the lodge. Okay, no more interruptions. They're at the lodge now.
They're at the lodge.
And he says that he'll sleep in the car.
Is it in the car? I thought he said on the bench.
No, he says,
on the sofa.
I'm going to sleep in the car. Cage plays the type of character who, whenever you ask him a question, he tells you a novel. So
Literally me.
So right before he leaves the lodge, he says, "Oh, how's
a good impression?"
He says, "You hear the joke about the Zen master who ordered a hot dog? No. He said that he would have one with everything." See, it's such a bad joke.
Wait.
Because a Zen master, the idea is you're one with everything. It's just a really bad joke.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cut the Chit Chat. I'm Jake Muslim, and I want to die so bad. Someone end my eternal suffering. This is hell.
This is a terrible movie.
And you are the devil.
Look, I'm only halfway through my notes.
You are the devil. I want to leave.
Look, we're gonna stay here. I watched this twice because you suggested we should do this one early on. So this is all you. Okay, so we should jump back to the other plot lines. Julianne Moore's tracking them down. Nobody
She's
cares.
looking real hard. Yeah, you don't because again, you know he's gonna win out.
Yeah, and the Europeans are also tracking him down.
Why?
Because they want him to
do what?
Okay, so
there's no plot.
This is a shaky premise.
It's not even shaky. It doesn't exist. Why do they know about him?
I don't know why
they should.
No, because they've tapped the FBI somehow. I'm pretty sure.
And so what? So they know that he knows about the future. So I guess they're gonna kill him, right? The fact that I just told you the reason for it. The fact that me, an idiot. The village idiot told you exactly what happens and why it happens is a bad sign.
They want to kill him because the FBI is going to use him to
so
stop the nuclear bomb.
They go to sleep.
They go to sleep.
Julianne Moore looks for him, meets the crossing guard, the construction worker.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, weird thing. This guy came looking. He knew the hotel that he was going to stay at. Imagine that." And Julianne Moore's like, a clue.
There's our guy. There's our Cage. So during the middle of the night.
Let's pass me the reins for a second. Because I'm angry and I remember this story.
But this part, go ahead.
So, cut to the morning after Nicolas Cage is grabbing some orange juice and Jessica Biel's just finished a very hot and sweaty shower.
He hasn't grabbed any orange juice yet.
You're right. I'm sorry. He's folding up a napkin, what you assume to be a napkin. He's rolling it into a little roll and she's drying her very wet and oily body off. I can tell you, I've seen water on a person. I've also seen oil on a person. That's oil. She's covered in some kind of lubricant.
I just opened up to that scene. Yeah, it's
disgusting and
nasty.
I love her curly hair, but it looks like she's doused it in gasoline. Probably because she wants to light herself on fire because the scene is disgusting.
Yeah, he looks at her.
I don't want to throw this word around because I hate overstepping. I don't want to use this word, but it's a fucking rapey scene. All right,
it kind of is.
Nicolas Cage is sitting at the table. At some point, he's going to make himself a glass of fresh orange juice. He's sitting there. He's rolling up a piece of napkin or something, and starts commenting on her beauty.
But right beforehand, he sees her and he does this huge intake of breath. He's just like,
and then he dies and the movie's done, and that's the end of the film. And so he stands up and he's talking about how beautiful she is and stupid shit like that. And he holds up a paper flower and then like snaps or something, and it's flash paper. And it dissolves into a real rose.
Which is just the stupidest setup.
And she doesn't give a shit.
She is like, wow. Look at that magic.
Dang. And he gives it to her. And I'm assuming she slips on her own grease.
I guess
that's come off her body because they wind up hugging and kissing each other.
But first, he says they're like close together, face to face. He says it's a very tender moment. Their faces are very close together.
Wait. Wow. That was incredible.
What was
this? It's so If I was going to kiss someone and they stopped and said, wow, that was incredible, I'd say, excuse me? And would not kiss them. Also, he's a stranger. She doesn't know anything about him.
They've known each other for less than 24 hours.
They're not even hooking up.
Not yet.
No. Like, people that have hooked up know more about each other than this.
Very true. Very true. So what happens directly after that kiss is they do hook up.
Yeah, they have sex. Really, I'm assuming greasy hot sex. Like, she's wet. He's not. She's just wearing a towel. So I'm assuming there's an awkward point at which they're going to have to address, like, his clothes. Like, there is this funny issue of footwear when it comes to... I'm assuming Nicolas Cage doesn't fuck. I'm assuming he makes love. At what point do you take off your shoes and socks? Because if you don't make a point to, it's never addressed, and then you wind up in someone's bed wearing your shoes.
It must be very chafy too, because she hasn't dried down completely. So
It's so wet. Water does not make a good lubricant, my friend.
So then we jump back to the two other subplots.
Thank goodness.
Because yes. So Julianne Moore is staking out the place. The Europeans are following the FBI. They're all encircling this cabin, which for some reason is on the edge of a cliff.
Because it's Arizona, I guess.
And also, is this the only room in the motel?
Yeah, it's a lodge. That's why I called it a lodge. I didn't call it a motel.
I just don't get why they have it. How many other people have been turned away by this guy at this pass?
I don't know, but who do you think is going to pay the lodge bill after the destruction that's incurred? So they've got a sniper set up to take out Nicolas Cage.
Right.
Don't know why. That's not the FBI. That's the terrorists.
Yeah.
Still not sure why they're following him. Someone's got a sniper pulled. He's like, I got to step out for a second. Also,
You're skipping so much
I know
plot.
because I just want to move on.
We need to talk about this because she goes out for some reason to get breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
to buy
Julianne Moore
breakfast.
kidnaps
She needs
her.
a break because the sex was so good. She needs to.
She needs a little bit of a
stumbles
breather.
out with a cane. She's like, Nicolas Cage is the best lover I've ever taken.
She rides in a wheelchair into town. Which apparently there's a town nearby.
Yep. And Moore meets up with her.
Yeah.
Corners her when she exits with her groceries.
She's like, Julianne Moore, FBI, come into my car. Come do some line readings with me.
Julianne Moore, why do you look so teary-eyed?
It's because I made a note of this.
No more questions.
I made a note of this. It looks like they did no makeup on her.
I don't think they did. And
The budget cuts.
Moore, I mean, is really the only voice of like...
Yeah, of reason.
Where she's like, you just had sex with a guy you know nothing about, Jessica Biel.
Well, Moore's kind of lying to her.
Also, he sees into the future, and
Well, no, she doesn't say that. She basically says like he's a pickup artist or something. I don't even know what she says.
he does this for a living.
I don't know what
she probably
says.
does, right?
She just says that he's a crazy man, basically.
Yeah, he's crazy,
And then I think
and the FBI is looking for him.
And Jessica Biel,
He's involved with some crazy shit.
Beal's reaction to that, I think, is decently nuanced.
Yeah, where it's like,
She's trying to process it all.
I've just hooked up with this dude. What the fuck?
Like, why did I fall for his magic trick?
It's almost like he could see into the future and knew my every move.
Yeah. So Moore gives her a pill, and she's like, put this in his orange juice.
Because she knows he's gonna have orange juice.
But then she says, wait 2 minutes before putting it in.
Because, again, it's the whole idea that the action inspires. But this is where they break their own rule.
Yes.
So she's taking an action of pouring the orange juice, I guess, and then slips a pill in. Oh, I get it. The only action after the 2 minutes that he's going to be able to discern is the fact that she's given him the orange juice and he's going to drink it.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
I spent like 10 minutes trying to figure this part out. And I assume because he's in the bathroom when she's deciding whether or not to do it Hamlet style.
Yeah.
And if he had walked out 2 minutes, like within the 2 minutes, then he would have seen her. I don't know. Honestly,
let's just move on.
Let's
keep going.
So then she like puts it in the orange juice, gives it to him. He's about to take a swig, and then she's like, "No, don't do it." Which, did he not see the future of that happening?
Maybe that is the future.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
My only thought is that maybe he saw the thing would have taken more than 2 minutes to act on him.
I'm gonna posit this: if he acts on the future he's seen and just sticks with it,
yeah,
there's no reason to show there's any other futures.
I guess so. I don't. yeah.
So
I'm
we can
lost.
just assume, because why else would, like, when you take a just a minor decision, or when he makes a minor decision and like plays out those actions, like why wouldn't we see all the possibilities of the way he can brush his teeth? So the idea that this is just the natural thing he's acting on, the first decision that comes forward,
Fair
we
enough.
don't need to be presented with the other futures.
Either way, I really don't care.
It's dumb.
It's bad writing. She's
and,
like,
and he's like, I have to step outside for a second
Yeah,
now
because-
that you told me this, because there's a sniper outside.
basically, he's like, here, do what I say. He walks outside. We see it from Moore's perspective.
In exactly 2 minutes, you have to leave, get in the car, and drive away.
He walks outside, swaggery. He takes a huge gulp of orange
Big old
juice.
gulp of that orange juice.
Then he walks right back inside.
As if nothing. It doesn't make any sense. Sniper shoots.
No.
Not yet. Damn, I'm jumping ahead.
He has to explain to her what his power is. So he turns on the television and he says
because it's radio interference. They've bugged the groceries
and yes, he
or something.
In an interview, Nicholas or Jessica Biel posits that Cage played this kind of like a Hitchcock-ish thing, where he needs to turn on the television to cover the noise because they're listening.
Yeah.
And he changes the channel, and then before he does that, he says what's going to be said on the television.
because he needs to prove his abilities.
Yeah. So after he does that, I think this scene's okay.
Yeah,
it is kind of okay.
It's how else is he going to prove to her? Maybe knowing her favorite sex position. I don't know.
I just have to say, first of all, I don't buy her decision not to drug him. Doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
she doesn't know him.
Okay, so he tells her what to do. We don't hear what he says. He goes outside. He goes to the cliff. Julianne Moore's looking through the binoculars.
Yep.
She says
he looks at her.
She says, "Don't do it." And then he says, "I already have."
As if she can hear what he said, which maybe he can. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
And then I burst out laughing when he jumps off the cliff. He's just like,
it's
boy.
such a momentous move. But again, they're like, what risk? At this point, we already know, like, no one cares. They've set up the battle sequence to the point, like, why did they show the terrorists setting up the gun and all this? So he makes the leap of faith, which is funny because there's no faith needed. He knows exactly how it's going to end. This movie's stupid. I hate it.
So he jumps off, and then we see Jessica Biel. She starts doing her thing. She starts the car going down the hill.
Yep.
And
then she jumps out.
She jumps out of the car. It pulls down like a windmill and a bunch of timber with it.
It's been strapped. No, it catches the line of something, like a chain.
Yes.
That's strapped all the lawn ornaments, I guess, and also the windmill, and pulls everything down, and it starts this avalanche of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool practical effect.
Is it? I don't think it's practical.
Oh yeah, it's practical, dude. There's so much of it that's practical. They got this long ass lens. I mean, I'm not saying every shot is practical,
right?
But seeing this stuff at first avalanche down the hill is practical. It's not CG.
So there are a few moments I want to shout out. First one is Nicolas Cage. We have
dodges a sniper bullet.
Yes,
he dodges a sniper bullet.
But it's not like he just like decides to go on the other side of the tree to avoid it.
He matrixes it.
He all of a sudden realizes that there's a sniper that's shooting him, and he just kind of goes like, "Oh," and moves his shoulder back a little bit to dodge this bullet.
It's imagine the Matrix dodge done badly. And that is his shoulder lean. Like, oh, someone's going to punch me. But it's really sloppy. Looks bad. The tree explodes behind him. He looks at the sniper and he's like, and then continues running down the hill.
And there's a bunch of people running after him.
FBI agents and maybe terrorists. I'm not 100% sure. But what I absolutely love is the guy, the sniper, doesn't even blink an eye. That someone just fucking dodged a bullet coming out of his gun.
Why do they even think they can kill him?
Like, he's just angrily like, ugh, he dodged, whatever. No, I hate it when people do that shit.
So he's running down the hill. It's very Final Destination. He stops. There's a car that's flipping over.
And he does this weird Superman punch on the ground. Which, now, listen. I kind of get it. Because you're in a standing position, you have to quickly stop and bend over and dodge something.
But he doesn't have. So he
But
stops.
He does, just to make sure he's clear.
He waits 5 seconds, and then at the last second he goes,
Because these actions, they're all about timing, and he has to make sure he gets his timing perfect in order to do it.
But he could have just stopped and then gone into a crouching position and not risked being hit by the car.
Did he see that future where he did it?
But he could.
Did he see that future? Did you see that future?
I saw the movie where he just crouched and then 5 seconds later the car goes where it was going to go anyway and he still lives. He didn't have to do that arm thing over his head. It's such a stupid looking move.
Yeah, but the character's a magician. He knows when a move needs a little bit of show.
He knows he's being filmed. He knows what the audience wants.
It's all about the prestige. I actually took a note that this film is a bad prestige. The prestige. Everything post lodge sex scene is a vision that he's having of the future, right?
Yeah.
It's all a bad prestige.
I guess it's kind of prestige-y.
Because the magic trick is him seeing into the future, and at the end it's like, oh, we return it all to normal. Now I know how to deal with this situation. The fact is that he doesn't. I'm jumping to the end. We'll come to that.
So he gets to the bottom of the hill where Julianne Moore is waiting for him.
Yep. And they see the logs coming, and she looks at him teary-eyed and says, "You're just gonna let me die?" I mean, I guess you've been trying to capture me this whole time, Julianne Moore.
So then he just kind of like covers her. I guess he can't see.
He tackles her.
He can't see the future where he moves her and him to a safe place.
Or that's the only one.
But shouldn't he have seen the future where he goes down the hill and she's waiting for him and figured out a way to save both of them?
We don't have enough time in the fucking universe to talk about this shit, so let's just assume that's the right way to do it and move on.
So next we cut to he's in this room. He's strapped down to a chair. His eyes are pried open, almost Clockwork Orange style.
I literally wrote that down at the top of my scene notes, aka Clockwork Orange. Here's the thing: it's not well done.
No.
Nicolas Cage looks really uncomfortable. I mean. Nicolas Cage, not his character, Frank Cadillac. Nicolas Cage looks very uncomfortable.
He does.
And they're using him for subjective data collection.
Yeah.
They're saying, I guess you can see into the future, even though he's established that it's subjective based on decisions he makes.
Yes.
We're going to sit you in this chair and we're going to make you watch CTV.
We're going to make you watch
for the next
news.
7 hours.
Imagine just watching CP24 for hours on end.
It's some really medieval torture,
but
it's really fucked up that this is the first thing Julianne Moore goes to. It's like, well, we have to use your power somehow. We're going to strap you down to this chair and like force you to see it all. Is it not like a switch he can turn on to just see? Because he's sitting there and he's like, make it stop, make it stop. I mean, up until this point, you've just been doing it on your own. Can you not control this power?
I wonder how many social interest stories he had to get through to get to the good stuff. But the problem here is he can see more than 2 minutes into the future. It's like when he looks into the television, he can just see.
And why?
I don't know.
Like because he had sex with Jessica Biel?
It really just opened his eyes.
That has to be the reason, right?
He's
because
no longer,
he had sex with Jessica Biel.
He's no longer a boy. He's a man.
As we expect,
yes,
there's an angry conversation between him and Jessica Biel. Sorry, Julianne Moore.
Well, first he sees into the future
of her exploding in a wheelchair.
But I have to point out
so many dangerous wheelchairs. Batman versus Superman wheelchair explodes.
He sees her explode. But the reporter in that moment,
it's so bad, man.
The reporter's just like, oh my God, what was that? She's like, well, there was a lady and she was sitting on a chair and she was strapped down and I think she's dead now. There's been an explosion. I don't understand what happened. It's an atrocious, like, come on, you're a reporter.
Take that, compare that to I Am Legend. One of the smallest, but like most deserving of an Oscar performances I've ever seen that's TV news related. Emma Thompson plays a doctor who's showing off her newest chemical that's going to like fight cancer or do whatever it's going to do. It's based off like rabies or AIDS or something. I don't know. It's like it's like the 5th worst thing to happen ever. It's like AIDS.
Of course.
World War II and like all that bad stuff. And she makes this thing. And her performance on the news, I was astounded by. It was like Emma Thompson was sitting in a newscast and was giving, like, it's honestly worthy of just looking up on YouTube.
I can definitely see Emma Thompson just killing it, just as someone who has to deliver the straight facts.
just like this is one of the worst newscasting performances.
It just ruins it, and it makes it. She's just so hysterical.
Completely the wrong tone, and then we cut back to Nicolas Cage, who's looks like he's having a diarrhea panic attack.
Let me try and do an impression of him in this moment.
Yeah, there's not enough water or grease on your skin, but that is pretty good actually. And so he's strapped down at the chair, and he tells Julianne Moore, this is going to kill me. This was a scene that was really highly reviewed by Dick Cheney, but that was it. Strangely enough, he was really into it.
So Nicolas Cage, they let him out. They unlock the cage, as it were.
Well, they get him out of the chair.
Yeah, and then he just starts running.
Nope, they put him in his cell. And then the guards, he jokingly asks, hey, can I have a light? And they all look around. It's like this fucking noob. And they're like, no, you can't have a light. And he's like, no, it's okay. I got it. And holds up I can't even remember the scene.
It's a cigarette.
He holds up a cigarette and does it light?
He does a magic trick. He makes something disappear.
I think he makes it disappear or something. I can't even remember. And they're like, whoa. And then he punches them in the gut and does the exact same kind of future seeing stunt work that we saw in the casino scene at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, and there's some good stuff.
It's consistent. I appreciate it.
He throws something at a guard that's coming around a corner. That's cool.
It's like a binder or something.
Yeah.
That kind of boomerangs, and as the person walks into the hallway, walks into it and is knocked over. I like that. There's some good stuff.
That might actually be from later on.
I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
But he escapes the facility.
Yep. And then he just kind of takes off running, and Julianne Moore's like, I gotta follow him on foot.
Because it's my job. If I don't, they're gonna stop funding for this weird ass program that I've done that involves human torture. And if the UN finds out, they're probably gonna.
He's running through the streets of New York. And he's on foot.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of cars that are after him, but Julianne Moore's just running on foot. I love it.
And they're running through traffic. And the traffic's going the same way as them, but they're running through traffic. Like, why didn't she just hop in one of the Escalades?
Why didn't she call a taxi even? Like, either way, it would have been better than running on foot.
It's the worst car chase ever because the cars are chasing the people that are chasing Nicolas Cage.
He pronounces the word roof. He's like, it's on the roof, which I thought was important to note.
And so they work up the roof.
They go to the roof, and
it's the same roof that Jessica Biel exploded on just moments earlier.
This is the part where I start to kind of lose track of what happens because it's 100%. Just so generic. There's a sniper on the roof.
Yeah.
He
dodges another bullet, I think.
No. So
you know what? He would have dodged a bullet if he didn't take this film.
What happens is he knows that the sniper's there, so they hook him up with Kevlar, and he just kind of strolls out onto the parking lot. The sniper shoots him in the chest instead of the head.
He flips the bird at the guy, and the dude on the end is so angry that he decides to shoot him in the heart instead of the head.
So then the sniper's like, oh, okay.
I guess I'm done here.
So he starts packing up, and then out of nowhere, you suddenly hear a helicopter. Just like, there it is. He didn't hear it beforehand.
And we find out that Julianne Moore and Nicolas Cage, before they started the chase scene, had coordinated the whole thing, and it was just a plan to get the man in the room with the sniper rifle.
Yeah, and they wanted...
No, I was lying. That never happens. That's the problem. They were chasing after Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no. They have a moment on the roof.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it would have been better if the whole thing was a setup.
Yeah, I think
so
too.
But it wasn't.
That would be more interesting.
They just decide I guess we have to work with you, Nicolas Cage, because you're a god and you see everything happening. He's like, I mean, that's what I've been trying to tell you, Julianne.
And we do have to remember that none of this is actually happening. Very important to notice.
I hate this movie.
So then the sniper goes around. He has like a machine gun or something. So he just shoots at the helicopter.
You got to have a backup.
They shoot him down. Yeah.
Yep. He dies because it's a shit movie.
So then he sees into the future somehow, and he sees the license plate. He zooms in and enhances on the license plate in the future. Then there's they go to the base and there's a big chase. Okay, this is
they have to find Jessica Biel because they beat them onto the roof. They're no longer on the roof because decisions have been made and time's not going to work out the way it was when she was strapped on the wheelchair. They've changed the future. So now they have to find Biel where she's at.
Yeah. So I don't remember where she is, but they go wherever that is.
Yeah, they're just like, she's somewhere else now. It's time to go. They come up to the warehouse, and this is it's the scene that's shown in the movie. It's kind of the climax of the film in a way where Nicolas Cage does his weird mitosis stunt.
Yes. So we get a few interesting tricks here. First of all, we have Cage as the leader of this posse, and he's
Finally. Julianne's in the back of the squad, and she's crying.
I think Nick's performance here is where it reaches like the Philip K. Dick level of he is just a god figure who can see in the future. Because what happens is he's got his posse, they're walking, and he'll be like, nope. Okay, no.
And yeah, and it's not bad. He's kind of teamed up with the squad. He knows all the FBI taps on the shoulders and like go this way, does the 2-finger salute and all that jazz.
And I like his performance here because he's playing it like he just knows what he's doing.
It's not bad. So they're doing their best to save the lives of the FBI agents because I guess he's a morally righteous figure.
But he's not doing a very good job.
No,
because
one still dies. And Julianne, like, honestly, I'm not even joking. At one point, she puts the 2 fingers on one of the FBI agents' necks that's down, and she's like, "Oh, damn, he died."
And Cage was like, "Well, guess we couldn't save him."
Another casualty of war.
So the posse is funny. It's just funny that he's just walking in the middle of them. They're all just like shooting around him. He's just kind of got his swagger on. But they get to the warehouse and they need to find her because I guess she's in here with one of the bad guys who's holding a gun to her.
Now, here's the funny thing. Let's take a minute, and I know I've been pushing to like get us through it and everything like that, but let's just take a minute and think about this for a second. It's a warehouse. Mm-hmm. It had one entrance.
Yeah.
And we find out at the end it's got one fucking exit. Why the fuck does Nicolas Cage have to separate into like 20 versions of himself to find the exit when there's only one fucking exit? And the terrorist is holding Jessica Biel at gunpoint in front of the white van, which they would have been able to see from 40 yards away, on the ground floor. They're not on the top floor. They're not on the 3rd floor. They're on the fucking ground floor, where Julianne Moore and Nicolas Cage come through with the posse of FBI agents. I am so angry.
You just got me ASMR'd right there.
So Nicolas Cage walks up to the first platform and does this weird shaking.
Yeah.
And this is the first time where they actually do something smart in terms of the visual aesthetic of him splitting. Everything goes the desaturated, and everything's like very green. They put a green filter over everything and desaturate everything. So this is hyper realism as he walks through and explores every possible route through the warehouse. And granted, there's some booby traps.
Oh yeah,
there's one booby trap ledge. Sorry. There's one booby trap ledge. It's not booby traps. There's one.
What I don't get about this is why doesn't he just split up into a million people? First of all, I guess because of how many
choices.
Yeah, but also why is he walking so slowly? If he's investigating a potential future where he does come across Jessica Biel and the guy holding her hostage, why doesn't he just run?
Here's also the other fascinating thing that it presents, right? All that walkway shenanigans, one would guess, takes place within probably longer than 2.5 minutes.
I would imagine so. It takes a while to walk as slowly as he does.
So here's the interesting thing. He can only, as far as we can tell, he can only see into the future within about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. But
if he makes a decision within those 2.5 minutes that he's seeing into the future, he can see another 2.5 minutes into that.
Yes.
So why doesn't he see to the end of the world?
Why doesn't he just go 2 minutes at a time until he gets to the point where all humanity has disappeared from the face of the earth?
Because in theory, he just follows, he just keeps on splitting up, mitosising his consciousness until he's mapped out literally, I guess, the rest of time in his possible choices. Like, yeah, that sounds pretty burdensome, but he can now see infinitely into the future because of all the decisions he's making along the way.
Yeah.
As long as they're unimportant ones. Literally, he could play rock, paper, scissors with himself. He makes a decision. All right, now I can go on for another 2.5 minutes. It's like a refresh cycle. It's like time to make another decision.
It's the classic wishing for more wishes kind of deal.
Yeah. Anyway, so he splits up.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. It's a cool effect.
There's an interesting crane shot where we're on one level, we go up to another level, and you just see a bunch of cages walking around.
He starts it off with a clever line of like, you take the first floor, I'll take the rest. Julianne Moore's like, I guess haven't seen this one before.
Then there are the 4 studio executive mandated booby traps.
Yep. Yeah, the boobs show up here. They happen. Oh, I just got the thumbs up. They're happy with the way they were included.
They're not happy with this episode, but they are happy with.
and so they make it through.
Yeah. And
he makes it through.
Yeah.
And then osmosifies back into his first self.
Basically,
Because he's traced the safe pathway.
Yep. So then he, as the others rejoin him, he kind of like shakes his head. He's like,
yep.
I know where to go or whatever.
And we know we're back in the present.
Yeah.
Because the color's back.
Because none of that actually happened.
And Julianne Moore's like, all right.
All right. Sure. You're God.
You're doing the heavy lifting.
Do whatever. So
you do you, babe.
So they go and they find the guy who's holding Jessica Biel hostage.
By find, you mean they see him in front of the car, in front of the only exit in the building, as far as we can tell, right in front of the white truck that's supposed to have the van in front. So they walk up. And his first question to him, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't write down the dialogue because I couldn't give 2 shits at this point, is how good are you with that gun? Julianne Moore's response, pretty good.
Yes. Because
why did they start it with that? He should already know how good she is with the gun. He can see 2.5 minutes into the future.
I don't know. He's saying like, let her go, blah, blah, blah. And then what does he even do? He
matrixes. Now, this is a cool effect. This is cooler
this.
with all the other effects. Again, it reinforces in my mind that there was a whole other movie that they were making. And then all of a sudden they come to this conclusion where he maps out all the possible paths the bullet can take and the versions of him where he gets hit. And you see it as it kind of like... they've compounded all the possible moves that he's done into one visual pathway where you can see the frames of him moving all which ways and whatnot. And it's a cool effect.
It's like a cloud.
Yeah, it's very Matrixy. And then every time that version possible pathway or future where he dies, every time one of them gets killed, it fades away. So you get this interesting path of movement. Almost, it's pretty trippy until the last one is. Him going up and the guy's had ammo and he's like,
yeah, well,
what's his line?
You have one way out of this.
And that wasn't it, I think.
Well, he says you have one way out of this. And then the guy like does something stupid. Like he has like a grenade or something in his other hand. He switches arms he's holding Beale with. And then Nick Cage says, that wasn't it. And then Moore just shoots his hand and he drops the thing.
No, Julianne Moore shoots him in the head. He dies.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Here's the hilarious part. It's the last line on my ending scene.
Yeah.
I just write, they just killed the guy who had the bomb. He's the only dude they know of who knows the location of the nuclear bomb.
That's a very good point.
And they shoot him in the fucking head. Like Julianne Moore is the director of an FBI operation and just killed
the only lead they
have. I guess because she assumes Nicolas Cage is the lead they can rely on?
I don't know. Like at this point, nothing
it's
matters.
So forgetful. It's stupid. Nicolas Cage is gripping Jessica Biel, who at this point I'm sure wants nothing to do with him or Julianne Moore or anyone because she's just gone through this traumatic scenario and like in the span of an afternoon.
She's almost gotten killed multiple times. And this is like the last straw for her. If I was her, I would just like run away.
I feel so bad for Jessica Biel in this movie.
But then we get to maybe the greatest twist in all of film history.
To call it a twist, you're giving it way too much.
So they go up somewhere. I don't even know. They're all good.
They exit and they're headed back to the city and they're going by way of like a dock.
Yes.
Because the white van is empty. The van that was supposed to have the bomb in it, that they got the license plate number of, is empty. And so they're like, all right, well, it's time to start looking again. And I can't remember what leads them to a dock.
It just cuts there.
No, they just go to the dock.
They're just on a boat all of a sudden.
So they have a graph, a 3-dimensional graph of the like seismic measurements. Mm-hmm. And Julianne asks him to look at the screen and say whether or not he sees any tremors per way of the explosion. And he looks and he can't see anything. And he's like, wait a minute. And he starts freaking out. He's like, wait.
He says this amazing line. I made a mistake.
And that's when you realize he's talking about making the movie. And it's just a big microcosm of that. It's just a story about an actor making a mistake and he's having to own up for it now in the end of the film. And Julianne Moore's like, wait, what?
Well, first he says something's wrong.
Yes, something's wrong. So,
I made a mistake. There's like a zoom in on his face. I made a mistake. Then he goes, it's happening. What?
and he hugs Jessica Biel as if to cover her from the biggest explosion the earth has ever seen, second only to knowing.
Yeah. And he goes, no. And then he hugs her, and then the bomb goes off, and they all get like blown away.
They dissolve
In a really bad effects shot.
It's just kind of the nature of that effect, right?
I hate this.
People melting away.
So then it goes to black, and then we go back to the moment where they're lying together post
No,
coitus.
it rewinds. We see the rewind happen.
No, there's no rewind.
Isn't there a rewind? No. Fuck. I hate this movie so much.
It's them post coitus.
Post-coital.
Post-coital. And then,
what base did they just reach?
oh, this has got to be 5th or 6th at this point. Her head's on his chest, his hairy chest. And we get the same shots we got earlier in the movie. And then I guess now Nick Cage is like even more of an enlightened god because he can see multiple hours into the future. And then he just phones Julianne Moore up.
Here's the funny thing. That future's great and all,
Okay.
but he's just seen, 12, 24 hours into the future?
It's got to be
12?
less than 12.
12?
Because it's still light.
All right, fair enough. He's seen less than 12 hours into the future. But as soon as he makes one decision different, all of that is fucking useless.
Yeah, this ending is just terrible. A, because it breaks all the quote unquote rules that have been set up. And B, because it sets up an unnecessary, stupid sequel that doesn't happen.
Never at any point did I read about the studio proposing a series.
No, there's no talk about, hey, what about next two? And there's never a moment where someone says, maybe we're going to do another one because this one ends with no ending. Like, this ending makes me so
Sick.
Deeply sick and angry.
And we're just left with Jessica Biel, who like gets involved with this Time Lord rapey guy.
Yeah.
Who just takes advantage of everyone and manipulates everything to his own benefit.
Yeah, he's
so self-involved. He's worse than in The Weatherman. He's hopeless. I hate him.
Oh, but he I don't know. He presents himself as this godlike character who can do basically no wrong, which is why him saying I made a mistake is so funny because
but he does so much wrong. Like, the morality of his character is that he has no morality.
that's the thing.
The story that's being told is one about someone's decisions affecting everyone else, but that being everyone else's redemption. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm the only person that can save the day because I'm what defines the outcome.
Yeah, and then
I'm the X variable defining Y.
right. So at the end, he talks to Julianne Moore. He says, "I'll help you if you leave her out of it." Then he goes back inside, and she's like, "Come to bed." And he's like, "Nah, I gotta go. I'm gonna be I don't know how long I'll be gone. It could be months. Will you wait for me?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Which is
why
the
not?
funny, like, to her, they've only hooked up one night, and this guy's like wants to spend the rest of her life. Will you wait for me?
And she's,
I mean, yeah, whatever. As soon as he leaves, she's like, dumb bitch.
yeah, and
That guy's such an idiot.
I think Jessica Biel does sell it decently well.
Meanwhile, she pulls away the sheets, and there's a used condom on the ground. She picks it up, and it ignites into a rose. It's flash paper turns into a rose.
Hey, that's not safe sex. Got to make sure it's plastic.
Are we done?
I think we're done. That was it. That's the movie. He goes away. There's probably some kind of music. He's like, "Let's do this thing. Let's stop the bomb." And I don't know. It's just bad.
It contradicts itself so much. All right. Well, but what did you think of Nicolas Cage's performance?
This is the end.
I said all about Nicolas Cage's performances the performance that I wanted to at the beginning.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I can add anything else to it now that we're at the end.
So a lot of his earliest stuff I find is very director driven, and even some of his later stuff, like we'll talk about some movies by Werner Herzog eventually,
Yeah.
and other like Paul Schrader's movies too.
Sure.
Those are all very director heavy movies. Like they're all very auteurist. this is one of those movies, maybe one of the first-ish that's a Nicolas Cage auteur movie, in that his performance is what's driving most of the intrigue around the movie itself.
And it really defines the film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The quality of the film.
Yeah, the quote unquote quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think he might be taking some cues from the short story, which is about this deity essentially that's going to destroy all of humankind, basically, because it can impregnate, like it can seduce and impregnate anything it wants to.
So can he.
That's
apparently.
That's I think some of the subtext that gets lost in translation.
Do you think it would have been better if he hooked up with Julianne Moore's character?
I think that her
there's a weird kinship between the two. She's like, I've been pursuing you this whole time. I've gotten to know you so well. I've gotten to know your actions.
I think that if, like, during the romantic scenes, though, he'd be like, I think beautifulness is how everything, you wouldn't change one single thing about the other person. And Julianne Moore's just like,
no. Beauty is the summation of
yes,
all the qualities you love in a person. Is that it?
Yeah.
The summation of all the parts.
And then I can just see
Which is a good quote.
I can just see Julianne Moore's response being like, yeah, good one.
She starts crying and then they make it.
So we get
Tinder bio. Beauty is the summation of all its parts, and damn, your parts are fucking hot. One of the execs just winked at me.
The exec is very into that. He's stealing that. We're going to, as we dig into this section of his career over time, which once again, we're not going in chronological order, which is probably the worst decision, but also I love it because we're just going across the board.
This is a decision that I think Nicolas Cage would like because
He'd love it.
We're really letting our gut follow these performances.
Yes.
That are very gut-driven performances.
And
you can respect that.
Oh yeah. This falls into the category where he's doing this kind of post acting. I forget who said this. I think it may have been Sean Penn in an interview. Said it wasn't Sean Penn.
Sean Bean.
Wasn't Sean Bean. So someone said that Nicolas Cage is the only person who's pushed acting
Ethan
forward.
Hawke? It might have been Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke cites him as one of his favorites.
I don't think it was Ethan Hawke. I don't remember who. I'll find that for next episode. Who talks about how Nicolas Cage is one of the only people who's pushed the art of acting further. He hasn't just done the same thing. He's adapted. He's done new things that no one else has done. And I think
that was Ethan Hawke.
I think this is one of those performances where it's just so beyond description to a certain extent that you can't compare it to very much. The closest comparison I could find is Neil Breen. I don't know if you're familiar with Neil Breen.
No, I'm not. The closest performance to this specific film?
Yes, this one. Okay. So Neil Breen, he's in the pantheon of bad movie directors. His acting is so terrible. There's no way to describe how bad it is. It's anti-acting. Folks, if you haven't seen Fateful Findings, I think it's on YouTube. Find it. It's an incredibly terrible but beautiful movie. Anyway, Neil Breen is the closest I can find a descriptor for Nicolas Cage in Next, just because his acting is almost anti-acting in a way. It's almost like he showed up on set and was like, I'm God. What do I do?
Which is funny because I always like talking about whether his performance is reserved or not, like whether we're getting kind of the full spectrum of Cage. And this film is quite a bit more reserved than some of the other ones.
Absolutely. There's no huge freak out moment.
And that's funny.
It's interesting. I kind of respect this performance, even though I can't really buy into it.
Is that something I kind of want to ask that's an open-ended question? Is that maybe alluding to the rest of the movies that we're going to dive into, that when there's that reserved performance, it's kind of a failure of a performance? Do you think his performances lack that immersive quality and relatable quality and I know there's so much bad writing involved with this that is kind of hard to just definitively say based on Next. But do you think that's the quality that takes his performances further than they ought to go? And when he removes himself and when he dials it back, they're lacking because they're missing out on that aspect?
I don't think so. And the reason why is because I think modern film culture can be very memey at times. Like everyone's looking for something that will provoke laughter.
Sure.
And the whole Nicolas Cage freakout thing has become a meme. And when we talk about Mandy, we'll spend like 2 hours talking about the bathroom scene.
It's not even become a meme. I'd argue it's become a motif, and it was a motif before the memes even started existing.
But it became this thing where people can be like, look, he freaks out in a movie.
Yeah.
And that became the shorthand for Nicolas Cage. Like,
Sure.
Nicolas Cage, he just goes wild.
Sure.
But when he gives a performance like the one in Next, which once again isn't a great performance per se,
No.
he's tapping into something a little bit different. And I think that people forget that he's more than just someone who can yell on command. He does, like, he can play those quieter moments.
And he's always very open and honest about the inspiration that he takes for his films and the work that he does. And I mean, the fact that he's putting that much thought into it. Jessica Biel says they had a lot of conversations between the two of them about, whether or not their characters would actually take the steps in their relationship that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you look at it from Beale's character's perspective, it might have just been a one-night stand, in which case, totally realistic, In
an interview with Beale, she talks about how the number one reason she wanted to do this movie was to work with Nick Cage and Julianne Moore.
And now she's done it, and she'll never do it again. I don't know that.
That's it. I think we're done. We've spent way too much brain power on this, and I'm just going to forget about it.
I've got a quote that I just wanted to end this off.
Okay.
And my notes were not as in depth as yours, but I did end it on something that you didn't have. I quoted Nicolas Cage at the very end of the film when he says, "I made a mistake."
Okay.
And then I just edited that a little bit to improve the film, and added watching this movie. And I think the Nicolas Cage that I really saw accessed on the screen was a mistake, and that's all I want to say.
Thanks for listening to Cut the Chit Chat. We hope you've gleaned something from our much belabored discussion of Next. Feel free to rate and review our podcast and subscribe for your weekly dose of Cage. You can follow us on Twitter at CTCCPod. That's CTCCPod. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on Next. Email us at ctccpod@gmail.com. Next week, we'll be talking about Paul Schrader's 2016 film Dog Eat Dog, and we will once again ask the immortal question, why is Nicolas Cage?
What do you say we cut the chit chat, a-hole?
Oh my goodness.
I'm so angry.
I want to die.